Well, after a week based here at the track Paolo Borsellino, just outside Palermo, we continue with the road racing in this year's World Championships. The first event of the road racing is the 50 kilometers team time trial for women. First team to start will be the Spanish team. The circuit here, based around the streets of Palermo, heads out on a circuit which will cover 50 kilometers. The second team to start, a team of women from Lithuania on the start line. Obviously the favorite team will be the last team off, the Russians, who are the defending champions. They won the title last year ahead of the United States, and third place the Italians. So off we go for the 4 women from Lithuania. These have got a good chance of riding well here, the American team. It's a very strange shape in the back there. In fact, they are wearing a two-way transmitter so that their coach in the team car behind can give you them race information. These are the favorites, the Russians. The last team to start. Only 6 teams started this year in the women's 50 kilometer team time trial. Another event which will be disappearing from the calendar next year as the Union Cycliste Internationale tries to streamline the competition. First time check at 27 kilometers. Third time only for the Italians, last year's bronze medalists. This is the Russian team. Very strange positions some of these riders have. You can see we come up to the turning point at 27.5 kilometers, and the best time will go to the United States of America, just ahead of Lithuania by 8 seconds. Get a chance here to look at the superb scenery around Palermo. Beautiful city here, very historic. The last team off coming through the time check at 27.5 kilometers. The Russian team goes through 33.04, well ahead of the rest. Really seem to be getting into their rhythm at the moment. I'm sorry about the picture breakup. That's due to the uplink from our motorbikes to the helicopter. Gives us a chance here to see the American team. Oh, and look at this, what's happened here. Looks to me very much as if this young rider has suffered from the heat. It's very hot down here. This looks like it's Alexandra Ilalieseva. In fact, she's the only rider on the team who wasn't a member of the winning team last year. She's been brought into the Russian squad this year, and she really does look to me as if she suffered from heat exhaustion. Lithuania comes up to the line. Best time for the Lithuanians, 1 hour, 5 minutes and 39 seconds. Just get a chance to look at the times out on the road here at the moment as we look down on the Russian squad, which is down to 3 members. They're leading at the 42.4 kilometer check. The Lithuanians went through 10 seconds faster than the United States. Americans here really now have the chance to pull back over the last few kilometers because there are 4 of them working extremely well together. Italy, well off the leaderboard. They will go through in 3rd place, but let's not forget there are a few more teams to finish. The Americans should be next. Coming up to the line, look at this. The Americans are going to do a great time, but in fact they're off the time of the Lithuanians. They're going for 2nd place at the moment as they come to the line. That's 1 hour, 5 minutes and 53 seconds, which will put them 2nd behind Lithuania. That's a great ride by the Lithuanians. But the fastest all the time checks along the course have been the Russians, and that's it. They're going to walk away with this title. 1 hour, 4 minutes, 55, 44 seconds better than Lithuania, and the United States will be in 3rd place, a little bit further back, ran about 58 seconds. There's confirmation. Russia ahead of Lithuania and the United States of America. Russia getting the title that was theirs last year, and this is the last time that the 50 kilometer team time trial championships will be disputed. There we see the young rider there, number 122, who suffered that terrible heat exhaustion. The men going out in the hotter part of the day. This is a 100 kilometer team time trial, and what they will do is 2 laps of the course that was done by the women. First team off, in fact, will be Morocco. There are 15 teams taking part. One of the noticeable absence this year will be, in fact, the team from Great Britain, who have opted to go to the Commonwealth Games. Number 1 favourites here for everybody here in Palermo, definitely the Italians. Fantastic squad, basically the same squad that gave them the title last year. But the big challengers could be these riders here from Germany. And again, you can see they've got these very highly aerodynamic bicycles, again adopted from the former East German regime, the same used, almost identical to the ones by the track squad. The end of lap 1 as we come up to the line, and in fact the French went through there with the best time, 0.6 of a second faster than Sweden. But this is the team that was 2 times the world champion, 1991 and 93, the Italians. Coming up to the end of lap 1, best time on the leaderboard at the moment is the French, but the former Olympic champions Germany are going to come through with the best time after 50.2 kilometers. They're riding an excellent race at the moment. Look at that, 38 seconds ahead of the French, 58.49. This is the squad that everybody wants to win, the Italian squad. They were 2 times world champions in 1991 and 1993. As they come up to the line here, that's going to be the best time by far. Oh, and I don't think he expected his teammate to be there. This is what can happen when you're suffering a little bit from the heat there. He was just going to change to let his teammate come through so that he could go to the front, and that was a bit of a shock to see him there. There's confirmation of the 50.2 kilometer mark. Italy lead with 1 minute and 24 seconds over Germany. Third of the French, over 2 minutes back. Well, we come up to the next time check here. Sweden have got the best time so far, 1 hour 31 minutes, but it looks to me as if the French are going to be well inside that time. French took 4th place in the World Championships last year in Hamar, and they really would like to come back with a better performance. Look at that. Best time through 1:31.23. The Olympic champions from Germany, they go through. Best time ahead of the French. But on the other side of the course, look at this. The Italians started 3 minutes behind the German squad this morning, and you know what? I think they may catch them out on the course. Germany leads France by 6 seconds, so it looks very much as if the Germans may well be fading. Look at the time. Almost 3 minutes is the gap between the Italians and the Germans, and it may well be that they're going to have them in their sights very soon. A superb ride. This is going to give Italy a fantastic gold medal, because I don't think, barring accidents, anybody is going to rob Italy of their title. And there you can see the feeders passing them up some drinks, and that is the most important thing in the heat here, which has reigned over Sicily since the start of this championships, is to keep yourself well hydrated. Great shot here of the Italians. They really have gone to town on these bicycles. Italy really is one of the countries that produces some of the most magnificent bikes in the world. And they're using them to the best of their advantage. Look at this, they've caught the Czech Republic, who started 12 minutes before them on the road. These riders here really are walking away with the 100-kilometer team time trial championship at the moment. And if you can just see a little bit further down the road, there's a car there. That, in fact, is the German team, who will not be very long either before the Italians gobble them up. Look at this. What a magnificent performance we have here. The 2-time world champions catching the Olympic champions, who started 3 minutes in front of them on the road. This is a sight that you don't see very often in world cycling. Magnificent. And information is actually coming to me at the moment as we look at the time there. 1 hour and 40 minutes that the Italians have been out on the course. In fact, the Germans are losing their 2nd place to the French, and it's going to be very close on the line whether or not they can hold on to the 2nd place that they had at the final time check there. Look at this, really big men here. This is Colombo. As we go back down to the finish line, in fact, Sweden coming through with what's going to be the best time, but there are a lot of good teams to finish. 2 hours and 1 minute, 46 seconds for the Swedish team to go top of the leaderboard. But the men setting the best times out on the course are the Azzurro, the Squadra, as they like to call them here in Italy. The Italians doing a great performance. The Germans are nowhere to be seen now. What an incredible ride the Italians are doing. They really are suffering. And it's an incredible heat here as the French come up to the line. Look at the time. 2 hours and no minutes at the moment as they come, and they will take top place at the moment. Let's not forget, though, we still have to wait for the Germans. and the Italians, because these are the riders who've been setting the fastest times all along the course. They have been head and shoulders above everybody else. They've taken 3 minutes back from Germany, and it looks as if they're going to walk away with the title. They've won this title 7 times in the history of the 100-kilometer team time trial. Real specialists. They come up to the finish line now. They have about 500 meters to go. The Germans are down to 3 men, and they really will have to push it to try and keep hold of that second place. Look at the difference here. We can see now the Italians coming down to the finish line, the Germans behind them. That's the time there that they have to beat. 2 hours and 42 seconds by the French, and they are well inside that time. That is not going to be a problem at all for the Italians today, because you know they have done the most magnificent ride around this course. They've led at every time check. They want to take the last title. The 100-kilometer team time trial will be awarded today, and it's going to stay here in Italy. The Germans faded towards the latter part of the course, you know, and they were not able to match the French, who put in a superb final 25 kilometers to take the silver medal. But there, the Italians really do take it, and they're going to be very happy in the streets of Palermo this evening. Look at this. There's the final result there. 100-kilometer team time trial, which we will see for the last time. 1 hour and 57 minutes, 54 seconds for Italy, ahead of France, and Germany will take the bronze medal. So that's been a wonderful week in Palermo. We now will move around the islands to Capo d'Orlando for the 2 individual races for the women and the amateur men. The first race, starting early in the morning, will be the women's race, and obviously the favourites will be the French, Gini Longo, Cécile Audin, and Catherine Marçal of France. Marçal was the world champion in 1990 in Japan, and also the 1991 team time trial champion. Cécile Audin was also the 1991 team time trial champion, and Gini Longo on this squad has been a world champion on 8 separate occasions. Well, the ladies face 7 laps of a 12.34 kilometer course, the 90 starters this morning, and the action started very early with Nada Cristofoli from Italy and Dedi Demet setting the blue touch paper. Well, the action has been thick and fast all morning, but it wasn't really until we got into the 5th lap that the real attacks came thick and fast, and always there was a French girl at the front doing the attacking. This is Cécile Audin from France with Imelda Chiappa from Italy. This is the tougher part of the course here. They climb up a little bit to the top of a small col just above the town of Capo d'Orlando, and this is the young Seberg from Switzerland trying to get across and join the leaders. They're just about at the top of the climb here. They'll plunge down to the finish line, and when they get to that line, they will have 2 laps to go. Lucia Seberg from Switzerland, the sister of Beat Seberg, who rides on the French Castorama team. And it looks very much to me as if there's another rider from France coming across here. This will probably be Catherine Marçal. This will give the French a great advantage. 2 riders in a break of 4. Now this is the work being done behind by the French squad. The gap there is 12 seconds. 1 or 2 riders trying to get across, but these 4 riders at the front will work extremely well together and try and build up a good lead, and then on the final lap they will try and attack each other, and obviously the French have the biggest advantage by having 2 members there with Audin and Catherine Marçal. Audin has never been a world champion. Marçal took that title on 1 occasion. Gini Longo has taken it on another occasion, so it may well be that the French will try to give Cécile Audin the title in one of her last years as a cyclist. This is Audin at the front now, number 60, a great rider. Catherine Marçal going through, done a great job here. 169 is Lucia Seberg, and obviously the favourite of Italy here is Chiappa, number 5 at the back. The Italians have had a great reception all through this World Championship so far. As they come up to 1 lap to go, a little twitch of the elbow by Seberg, and there's the chasing group, and it looks as if there's a lot of attacking going on there. A great crowd turned out from the final of this Women's World Championship road race, and it's amazing because it's so nice out there on the beach. And what's this? Jeannie Longo. Well, I'm not quite sure of the intelligence of that as a tactic, because you have a breakaway of 4 riders with 2 French ladies in it, and Jeannie Longo is attacking to get across to them. Jeannie Longo Ciprelli, she has now adopted her husband's name since she was married a few years ago, and she's made a great move, and she's actually got across here to the 4 leaders. That will put 3 French leaders in a break of 5, but the problem is, it seems to me as if the main field is starting to close down pretty rapidly behind. So what will Longo do? In fact, she's going to try and go straight by, but she hasn't really quite got the speed to do that. Very strange to see that move by Longo. This is the main field, and there's no major reaction at the moment. They've got a very tough climb to come up here to the finish, and it's the Italians doing the chasing at the moment. 8 seconds is the gap. Longo tries to go clear. Longo really wants to go out with a bang. You know, she's had a very long career. 8 times she's been the world champion. She's got 20 or 30 meters clear lead, but there's a major reaction behind. About 5 kilometers to go, you know, and Longo didn't get the gap she wanted. In fact, it was Seberg who brought it all back together. It looks a little bit like Marcel was suffering, and she'll get back on before the top of the climb. The pressure really is on here. You can see the main field is splintering quite a bit here. A lot of the work being done by the Americans. They have a very rapid sprinter in their ranks, and it may well be that is what the Americans are working for. And in fact, you know, it looks very much to me as if it's all over. 57 there is Jeannie Longo, and the whole field has come back together just before we get to the top of the climb. Well, that is something the French team are going to have to talk about tonight, because, you know, I really do believe that Jeannie Longo has caused the whole field to come back together, because she was in the middle of that gap when it was down to 20 seconds. If she hadn't moved, being one of the top favourites, I'm sure the group of 4 would have gone away. But anyway, it looks now as if we're going to be having a major bunch sprint. Those riders on the right were in fact lapped riders, so this is where the race is happening. 57 Longo at the top of the climb, trying to go again, but it's all back together. What's this? Oh, it looks as if we've had a crash on the first corner of the descent. There's bikes and riders all over the place. Let's have a look at that. Well, one of the riders has gone down here, and you can see at this part of the course it's very difficult to avoid it. Everybody is eyeballs out going for the sprint. Oh, and there's a German girl gone down there. That is very, very bad. It looks to me as if 2 of the French girls are on the ground. This, in fact, number 6 will be Fanini. She was one of the favourites for the sprint. 55, Marcel has gone down, and Audin, Cécile Audin is on the floor as well there, number 60. They were in the lead group before. Well, they won't be too happy with that. Well, they're trying to change their wheels and get these women back on the road, but that's all over for them. This is where the race is happening at the front. There's a Dutch rider leading out the sprint at the front here. There's an attack by Chapa in the blue jersey from Italy. She wants to go for it. She was in that break earlier on today, but she's covered here by Monica Valvik from Norway, the girl who's been the top amateur rider so far this year. There's a late attack on the right-hand side there by Jeannie Golay from the United States. There's a Belgian rider coming there through there too. In fact, it looks to me like Patsy Megerman coming to the line, but you know, Valvik's got it. She's got the power. She's won so many races this year, 25 years of age. What a superb victory for her. She wanted this title, and she's going to take it all the way back to Norway. They're going to be very happy with that. You know, that was a superbly timed sprint there, and in fact it all came back together in the final few kilometers. There's confirmation of the Ladies Road Race Championships. Monica Valvik ahead of Patsy Megerman from Belgium, and Jeanne Golay from the United States gets the bronze. In the afternoon, the men's amateur road race faced 15 laps of the same circuit, 12.3